Last year, when Twilight of the Republic came out and everyone realized that the set sucked and product wouldn't be juiced up and hard to find like it was before, we lost a fair amount of players and stores to other things, but SWU, generally speaking, survived. With the launch of Secrets of Power, I'm not convinced that, however, without proper intervention, we can survive another Twilight of the Republic situation. Hi, I'm Nick with TCGHQ. Many of you guys in the SWU community know me as the tournament organizer for Cards HQ and the two Beatle 10K Plus events we've hosted here in Atlanta with the Bothan Network. If not, you've probably seen me at sector qualifiers or have seen me vending at the Cards HQ booth at the Regional Championship and Galactic Championship. You might also know how important Star Wars Unlimited is to me, and this video is going to serve not as a doom and gloom premonition of the game, but a genuine look at where the game is at, where it's going, and what we need to do to save it. None of the notes and critiques in this video are coming from a place of disdain. I love this game. It's my main game, and it genuinely breaks my heart to see where it's at post Secrets of Power release. I have and always will be Star Wars Unlimited's biggest fan and defender, but we have to get to the bottom of this and figure out why we're in this space and where we're at right now. This is why Star Wars Unlimited is crashing and what we can do to save it. The most recent set, Secrets of Power, has been out for a few weeks at the time of this recording, and it's a really exciting set from gameplay perspective. Almost every meta deck in the game got something out of this set, whether it's Karis Nemec in your red hero deck, Sintakaz for pilot decks, or Captain Rex for your mid-range decks. There's a lot of really cool stuff you can sleeve up and try out that comes in Secrets of Power. Plot is a refreshing new take on playing cards from resources that allows your leader flip turns to be turned into beyond powerful turns that takes out your opponent in one go, and Disclose is a mechanic that's proving to be versatile as well. But the most expensive legendary is $15. Regular booster boxes can be found in abundance online for about $1 above distributor costs, if not worse, and locals attendance has plummeted around the country. How did we get here? In order to understand that, let's take a look at where SWU came from and where it's going. In 2023, Fantasy Flight Games announced that it was bringing a new Star Wars card game to market, Star Wars Unlimited, the namesake of this video. This game would be a streamlined TCG experience compared to its last failed Star Wars card game, Destiny, with innovative gameplay that ditches the dice in exchange for shared turns, actions, and 2 arenas. Naturally, over time, the excitement for this game was palpable and real among fans of TCGs and those who gave this game a shot at Gen Con or any other convention FFG was demoing at. Due to FFG's shoddy history with card games, however, what we avoided is what most people like to call speculator hype, something games like Gundam, Riftbound, and Lorcana have dealt with on their launches. That's when boxes and product for the game are so hyped up and sought after that any and all availability of the product is stifled by sheer volume of people who want in, which then attracts the type of people in this industry who work to secure products in bulk at MSRP and turn around to sell it at a heightened market price. This process is also known as scalping. SWU avoided that almost entirely on its launch. For the first 2 weeks, you could regularly find booster boxes of its first set, Spark of Rebellion, for between $90 and $120, which is its MSRP. This would be a sure sign that the game would, at least at first, be readily available for the people that wanted to try it out. And try it they did. In Atlanta, nearly every pre-release event around town had at least 24 players, with some getting over 50 participants at the largest stores. Compared to where we're at now, that is crazy to remember. Everyone was captivated by the action-based turn system and dual arena gameplay. Needless to say, it wasn't long before the superpowered legendaries of Darth Vader, Boba Fett, and Luke Skywalker from Spark of Rebellion shot up in value as players acquired the best cards in the game, naturally. They were the very best cards that you could play in your deck, so the value would go up. The cards in this game were proving to be valuable, and many other rares and legendaries also bubbled up in price. Soon after, box prices followed. Overnight, it felt like Spark of Rebellion went from $90 a box on TCG Player to $140, $170, and quickly over $200 before anybody could catch up. Suddenly, a game that wasn't speculated on by the normal folks that do so was impossible to get just due to overwhelming demand. The hype for Star Wars Unlimited got so crazy that Jim Cartwright, one of the main creators of the game, went on record to say that they printed more Spark of Rebellion boxes than they did for the first several Star Wars Destiny products combined, and it still wasn't enough to quell demand. For a game that was this hype, You'd think nothing could stand in the way of its success, right? Well, unfortunately, something could. When the second set released, Shadows of the Galaxy, we witnessed something truly strange happen. The boxes started off a little high at around the $140 mark before dropping slowly to about $100 a box. I don't know what happened across the board. As from a tournament organizer perspective, we were still getting decent turnout, we were still getting people buying the product, and while the set wasn't as strong as Spark of Rebellion, it still had a lot of really powerful and interesting cards that also fetched a bit of a premium. For whatever reason, the set's availability and its introducing of new archetypes like smuggle-heavy plays with the Han Solo leader from set 1, and new ways to play control with Bossk and Kira, somehow made people turn away from the game. Explaining this is difficult, but for whatever reason, as the box prices dropped and therefore product became more available, so too did interest. And when Set 3, the infamous Twilight of the Republic, released, its incredibly low power card design and lack of playable legendaries killed a lot of excitement for the game, both locally and around the country. Even though by the time Twilight of the Republic dropped and this happened, Spark of Rebellion was still on the cusp of receiving a reprint wave, which meant that the game was completely accessible. And yet, the money and the players did start to leave. The hype and excitement that packed stores gave way to a still present but much weaker local scene around us in Atlanta, and globally, less people were playing than before. FFG started out with a product that everybody wanted and nobody could get with Spark of Rebellion. An all-timer set, one of the very best set ones in any TCG. That turned into a third set that they printed an effective infinite amount of that no one wanted, and any store or player that bought in heavily, myself included, got burned. Despite this, at this point in our timeline, many folks were still engaged with the game, and when Jump to Lightspeed was announced, they announced that it was going to have a Carbonite product alongside it. As you guys know by now, a Carbonite booster box is a product that is unique to Star Wars Unlimited, but in its design, it's not unique to TCGs in general. This is a collector box from Magic the Gathering. They look the same, they're sized the same, they have the same amount of packs and the same contents. They're supposed to be the same. The reason they were manufactured is because, naturally, only manufacturing 12, 20 card packs is going to cost the manufacturer much less than manufacturing a box that has 24 packs with 15, 16 cards in them. There was excitement and discourse about this product, though. There was a lot of real palpable hype for prestige variants of cards that allowed the artwork quality and collectability of the game, something that was critiqued in the past, to skyrocket. And these prestige treatments of cards are still the most desirable versions in the game, with each set having incredible looking prestige arts that can only be acquired in these Carbonite boxes. Things were supposed to be looking up, but as we've noticed with the last few sets that have come out this year, FFG continues to print an overwhelming amount of regular booster boxes, and despite many players opting to buy in on Carbonite boxes, these products as well are not nearly as limited as they should be. Despite having promises directly from the manufacturers of a small print run due to serialized cards being included in them, you can buy all 3 currently in-print Carbonite boxes online in as many quantities as you want for below MSRP. But really, as long as stores could eke out, say, a 20% margin on these products, it was fine, right? But no, they can't do that. We're here now. Secrets of Power is released, and it's brought to us by the same design team within SWU that made Twilight of the Republic, the set known for its worthless legendaries and sunken value. You can currently buy Twilight of the Republic boxes for $33.99 at Cards HQ, despite the fact that it is a year old. This is $30 below its distributor cost and almost $90 below its MSRP. While the power level of Secrets of Power is substantially higher than Twilight, and possibly some other sets that have done fine, the reality is that the legendaries of this set are worthless. They're not good. There's maybe 2 or 3 that will actually see play in meta decks, and on top of that, the very best ones have prestige versions that are suppressing their value. A card I mentioned earlier, Darth Vader commanding the First Legion from Spark of Rebellion, hit highs as great as $90 a copy back when Spark of Rebellion first came out. If you opened an early box and hit a Vader, you were genuinely excited for a base version legendary. The card was crazy, and it still sees play to this day, despite the fact that it's going to rotate out in 3-4 months from the time of this video coming out. Rotation is a completely other story. Because Spark of Rebellion is rotating out soon, its value has sunken, but back then, you could make your money back on a base regular legendary. One card paid for your entire box. Now, this is the situation we are currently in, where legendaries can't do that. The legendaries in a box of SWU are supposed to be what makes you your money back. But if you open the 6 most valuable base rarity legendaries in Secrets of Power, as of this recording, this is how much you'd make. Queen Amidala is $15. Darth Nihilus is $10. Darth Traya is $9. Obi-Wan Kenobi, around $9 as well. Darth Sion, about $7, and Lightmaker is around $6. Normally, in a box of SWU, you get between 5 and 8 legendaries, so we'll call 6 the average. If you open these 6 legendaries exactly, the most valuable base rarity legends in Secrets of Power that you bought from your LGS, even if they were selling to you at its current market price of $70, which is a loss, by the way, you are still losing money, having recouped a grand total of $56 back. How did we get here? Playability is driving a lot of the values of these cards still, but with Queen Amidala maintaining a double-digit price point, it doesn't change the fact that the prestige version of the card is causing that base rarity price to go down. Its prestige variant, which is only available in the Carbonite box, is one of the most beautiful cards ever printed in Star Wars Unlimited. Lightmaker is another powerful card that has the same problem. The other 4 cards, all Force units without prestige variants, maintain their price despite a lack of playability. People really love their KOTOR Darksiders. That being said, can you imagine if you don't hit those legendaries? You're in an even worse spot. And if you choose to skip the regular boxes to open Carbonite, you're going to get hosed even worse, as no pull rates are guaranteed inside a Carbonite box with the exception of the prestige. You can open a box with 0 legendaries despite these boxes being more expensive. And finally, many of you might be watching this video and think, well, that's no big deal, I'll just buy singles. And while that is true, when singles for your game are this cheap, it's not healthy for anybody. Not for you, and not for the stores that are trying to run these tournaments and sell you these cards. When singles are as low as they are, fresh out of your game's newest product, that doesn't inspire stores to crack open boxes. It inspires them to drop the game. There are a few additional rares in the set that are worth a couple bucks, but when playable rares were $10 in Spark of Rebellion and Shadows of the Galaxy, something that's genuinely exciting and brings a level of excitement out of you when you open one in your packs that you get at locals, it's deflating to think about how bad product in this game has become versus what it used to be and what it could be and should be. At our second Bothan Invitational event that we held in the middle of November this year, we sold almost no Secrets of Power. The SWU players, the hundreds of them that came to our store, were primarily interested in our meager supply of loose Riftbound packs instead. I can't make this up. The product line is so unappealing that at the largest fan-run SWU event in this game's history, we could not sell Star Wars product. All of this is to say that at the center of SWU's galaxy is a problem. We like to point at massive tournament results like Beatle and Sectors and the Galactic Championship and allude to the game being healthy because of that. But the truth is a lot more nuanced and in a lot of ways really alarming. It's great that you and I love this game, but we are hemorrhaging players and collectors to games like Gundam, Riftbound, and more because our cards hold no value and the product is grossly overprinted. Believe me, I've been this game's #1 defender since day one, and I'll still call it the best card game I've ever played. I will still fight for Star Wars Unlimited. I want to see this game last for decades. But with Carbonite boxes sinking the prices of regular cards and stores and players bleeding away from our game, we have to do something. The big test for our game is going to be the next set, A Lawless Time. This set is the first of the year in 2026, which is normally a more powerful set than the other ones. It's supposed to set the pace. Simultaneously, it represents the first set to bring about rotation, which will see the first 3 sets rotate out of Premiere. That's Spark of Rebellion, Shadows of the Galaxy and Twilight of the Republic, removed from SWU's main competitive format. Now, we can have conversations about the good and the bad of rotation, but generally speaking, I'm for it. I like the idea of newer sets getting an opportunity to shine and for deck building to be more creative. The increased emphasis on the newer cards will likely increase the value of the playables as well. But for now, for the next 4 months, SWU, a game that financially hasn't supported its stores or its players, is in a tough spot. There's no denying it, no matter how much we love it. So, what do we need to do then until a lawless time hits in March? We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. There are a lot of games to play, and Star Wars' most recent set has, for lack of a better term, flopped completely. I've noticed locally that we stopped losing many players at around Twilight, fortunately. We still have a healthy player population that's engaged with SWU in Atlanta, but the volume of locals being attended has dropped significantly. And this is really what I want to focus on. Some folks who used to attend 3 locals a week now only play at 1 every 2 weeks, or have picked up a second game, one that's likely called Riftbound. While we wade through a set that's not going to make any money for anybody or feel good to open for people just trying to open cards, it's important that these local tournaments specifically continue to fire. Playing the game is the best thing you can do to save the game. Most store owners will see people playing the game in their store regardless of how the product is doing, and as long as you're still supporting, they'll still schedule pre-releases, they'll still order the product. So, this is my appeal to you. I've run hundreds of SWU tournaments. I've helped thousands of customers play this game. I've taught thousands more how to play on this very channel, and I've attended many tournaments on my own. I love playing this game. I love participating in this game. So if there's anything that you want to take away from this, listen to this part. From someone who loves this game and who sees the problem clear as day affecting it, go to a local, even if you haven't been to one in months. Be the person bringing people to your locals. This is more important than anything, and this goes for competitive players as well. I actually want you guys to hear this more than anyone else. Maybe you get enough SWU in your team practices. Maybe you get enough SWU in your testing circles online. But we need you guys in particular, the people that the community pay attention to double down on how good Star Wars Unlimited is. If you haven't been to your locals in a while, stop by. If it used to get 12 players and is now only getting 4, be the reason it doubles back to what it was. I know I personally am going to more locals and engaging with the game more as a player because I understand how important it is that I choose to play this game over others when it's at its worst point. SWU is just as good now gameplay-wise as it was back when everyone was playing it during Set 1, if not better, and I'd argue that it's much better. If you're local to me in Atlanta, come by Cards HQ locals. It's fantastic. Both of them still fire. We run 2. We run it every Wednesday at 6 and Sunday at 12. If it's your first time at our tournaments, mention this video specifically and I'll throw you a free booster pack just for coming by. Dealer's choice. It all comes down to what we as the current player base want to do in order to keep this game going at our locals. Supporting this game at a local level where stores are seeing people engaged with it, that is going to be the very best thing we can do to get through this valley. I don't think SWU is going anywhere. I think doom and gloom about the future of the game and that it's going to get end of service or anything like that, I don't think we're there. But the problems that its product is having is detrimental, and we will see an amount of stores and players drop the game because of it. These problems have become so great that we need to demand that FFG make necessary changes to improve it, and while we verbalize that need for change, we need to stay engaged with the game and remind them that even though we have these issues that demand an answer and demand action, we are saying these things because we love this game. I have opened a ton of all of these products, and I've enjoyed all of it, but I can still talk about the ways that it needs to improve. That's not a bad thing. That's trying to see the thing you love go from being where it's at right now, where it's at a hard point in its life cycle, and continuing to grow and continuing to bring in new players and make its product better for the people that support it. I'm hoping that product changes, despite taking time, are going to be implemented by FFG as they see the writing on the wall with the amount of product that's still sitting at distributors and on store shelves, and so they were already planning to make those changes for a lawless time. Despite all of this, like I've tried to iterate, I love this game. I love the people who play it. And on top of that, I couldn't be more excited to continue to play it. So, what are your thoughts on Swoo's status right now? What do you think can be done to make it better? Where do you want to see it go, and what are you sleeving up to bring to your locals? I'd love to get a conversation going in the comments down below on all of this. This one is a touchy topic for sure. Star Wars Unlimited is a great game. We have a lot of subscribers for the game, and my goal is to see it last for way longer than any of us could possibly imagine. And if we can get people talking about it, we can get FFG's attention, hopefully that means that good, positive change can happen to the product line, and we can see that growth become real. I'm Nick with TCGHQ, and I'll see you at locals.